Hello everyone, and welcome to my solo RPG journal. Today we are playing Age of Fantasy Skirmish, the campaign. Are playing Game 8, or Round 4, Game 2, or the second last game in the campaign. All of the warbands have had 3 games. They have all faced each other, and we are back to the original matchups. The Litwin Scouts faced Clara's Horde in the previous matchup. And today, we are seeing Chavel's Troup match up again against the Ortan Expedition. So this will be interesting. Looking at the leaderboard, we have the Litwin Scouts and Clara's Horde with 4 games, bringing up the rear. But the Ortan Expedition aren't too far ahead. Chavel's Troup are a little bit ahead, but if they don't do well this game, anything could happen. Not much has changed for the Dwarven lineup. We had a few units level up last round, but they haven't spent much XP. I believe that they won their last game, and with only an extra 10 XP, there wasn't much they could buy, so they haven't powered up by much. They have only just improved some of their existing troops. Chavel's Troup, however, got a wizard. Now, they also won their last game and couldn't do very much with their points. And so their lineup should be pretty much the same. However, having 2 heroes in their warband, one of which is a wizard, they are still quite powerful. The Ortan Expedition won both deployment and setup. So, we've ended up with Objective 1 up here in the fort. Objective 2 was placed here. No, let's rethink our thing. I was going top left to right to bottom to left to right, top to bottom with my numbering of objectives. However, this time around, with the size of the troops, the fact that the Dwarves are all slow, which means that they can only move 8 inches each round, I actually forced 4 objectives into this half of the map. In fact, this corner of the map, almost, by having having the Dwarves put all 3 down of their objectives down near the farmhouse, with one placed there by the Chavel's Troup, and then had them place basically all of their units ready to contest. So I think that in this case, this is Objective 1, and this is Objective 2. They should both be easy for Chavel's Troup, and not so easy for the Ortan Expedition. Objective 3 becomes this one. Objective 4 is this one. Objective 5 is down here near the entrance to the farm. And Objective 6 is next to the farmhouse at the back. The Ortan Expedition also won setup, which means that they will be going first. Deployment, they'll be going first. They have basically positioned around the farmhouse. We do have the elite soldier Athelid positioned so that she can go down the road and potentially fight both of these units and try and take those objectives. with these two, the hero Ortan and the... No, that's not the one I wanted. And Ethelwyd, the Dwarven veteran. Able to go and assist if needed, but really it's pretty obvious we're going to contest these three units, including both the heroes. With the setup, I did, because it was obvious what the Dwarven plan was, I did chuck the crossbowmen down here so that they could be the most effective, as opposed to sitting up on the fort where they would have some protection, but, you know, would be basically useless as they wouldn't be able to see anything on the other side of that forest. So, it's time for round one. Okay, first thing for round one. Each team rolled recovery, the special mission recovery, which is be the first one to have a unit recover from stun. I think this is the second time I've had this as a special objective, and the second time I've had it for both teams. So only one of them will be able to win this. The one that does will get an extra 10 XP at the end of the game. The Chavel's Troup got Hold 6, which is going to be the most difficult one, with the Iron Warrior, Roshek, defending it. He has a +2 defense as well as two 12-inch pistols. So he will be quite hard to get past. They also got Seas 2 and Seas 3. And as I just outlined, Objective 2 is this one. And Objective 3 is this one. So it is something that they can move for, but depending on how they want to move, they might not be able to score an objective in the first turn. Do they want to play it safe, or do they want to play it a bit risky? A bit fast and loose. The Ortan Expedition got Seize 1, Seize 4, and Take No Prisoners. Take No Prisoners will be a little bit difficult, as you need to win a melee by 3 or more wounds, or win a melee by 6 or more wounds, but 3 or more wounds is probably doable. Seize 1 and Seize 6, well, Seize 4. Seize 4 is this one, which is nice and defended by 2 hero units and some crossbow units. And Seize 1 is all the way up here behind these guys, and the furthest objective away from any units. So if we've got a chance of scoring that, I'd have to have what was her name? Athelid. I'd have to have Athelid basically leg it over there, as she only moves 8 inches around. So, Ortan's going first. Now, let's have a quick look at Ortan's sheet. All of them had slow, but Ethelwyd also had agile. Agile gives you +1.5 on advance and +3 on rush and charge. So she can move a little bit further than the others. Our elite Athelid has resilient, which means that she gets +1 to rolls when blocking hits. So her defense rolls get +1 to it, so she basically saves on a 2-up. The Iron Warrior, what did I say his name was? Roshek. He is a sergeant. I believe I said that was for his, in previous games, for his melee weapon. I should have specified that on the sheet to make sure I was consistent. But I do believe that was for his melee weapon, at which point he hits on 2s for melee weapons. And hits on 3s for the fire pistols, which is probably a mistake, but I have a feeling he's going to be in close combat pretty quickly. He's also headstrong, which just gives him a +1 to whatchamacallits. So he is 24 inches away from anyone. It doesn't make any sense for him to move first. Probably the move is this unit here. I don't necessarily need to take these objectives. This objective Chavel is after. This objective Chavel is after. The safest move is probably just to rush 8 inches down the line in this direction. And we will call her activated. Chavel's troop then get a turn. So the first thing I am going to do is just take some shots. We have 3 crossbows shooting at the Dwarven veteran Hildred. So Hildred has a 3 defense, 3 up defense, but they hit on their crossbowmen. They hit on 5s. However, the crossbows have rending, so on 6s, it will multiply to... What does rending do? I'm thinking about poison. Poison multiplies to 6. Rending is AP, isn't it? Here we go. Rending. Unmodified rolls of 6 to hit count as having AP4 and ignore the regeneration rule. So they're not actually moving. They're just standing still and shooting in place. They only get 3 shots. Let me just make sure I haven't missed any. They are elite. They may re-roll 1 die of any kind once per round. So they missed all attacks, so we're just going to re-roll 1 attack. And we get a 6. So she has to make a save on a 6, I believe, because that is a AP4 hit with rending. And she has a 3-up save, did I say? Yeah, so she has to save on a 6. Otherwise, she goes down, or she takes a wound. She makes the save. Very lucky. So they have activated and shot. Back over to the dwarves. It probably makes sense for Hildred to take her turn. Yeah, so she's going to rush 8 inches up to get a little bit closer to them. And she has now activated. It is, again, Chavel's turn. We have some spearmen who are going to rush 12 inches towards this dwarf. I think because they're moving sideways a little bit, they're probably a tad further back. But it's not going to make a huge difference. They have activated. Now at this point... was it Hildred who had the... No, it was Ethelwyd who had the extra movement. Yep. So Ethelwyd is going to use the rush action, I think it was, and get 8 inches plus another 3 to get 11 inches just up next to this objective. And she now counts as having activated. So at this point... we've got the first hero move of the game. The wizard, Lucius Catus, is going to advance up here to where he can see Ethelwyd, as well as capture that point. So now being where he is, let's have a quick look at the spells he can cast. Fireball. Target enemy units within 12 inches take... target enemy unit within 12 inches takes 2 automatic hits with AP 2. Leech, a little bit harder to cast, is AP 4, Deadly 3. I'm going to cast Leech at Ethelwyd, because that will pretty surely kill her. Ah. Hold on a second. So, the wizard, Lucius Catus, is a wizard too. Wizard rolls, casting rolls, are the d6 plus the wizard number, so 2. He needed to roll a 5 in order to get that off. Where'd the die go? Which die was it? It was one of these 3s, wasn't it? Problem with having... yeah, it was one of those 3s. 3 plus 2 is 5. So, he gets the spell off, and she has to make 3 saves on a 6. She doesn't make any of those saves. So, again, she has a defensive +3, or 3 plus. She doesn't have any other special wounds that would help her out here. She just takes 3... well, she takes 1 wound, Deadly 3, which means that she has 3 save rolls against AP 4, which is 6 ups for her. So, she takes 3 wounds and has to make a wound roll. Oh. So, 2 plus 3 is 5. On a 5, I do believe your unit is stunned. So she is still there. She can't capture the point because she's stunned, but she is still on the board. Okay, so the wizard has activated. We've got only 2 units left. Ortan is going to move over here. I don't think he's going to be close enough to capture the point, but he is close enough to shoot these spearmen. No, he's not close enough to capture that point. Which is fine. The goal is to try and take out, do some damage to those models. Where'd he go? So he has 2 fire pistols, hitting on a 3, range 12, AP 1. Oh, he has this Vanguard rule as well. Friendly units within 3 inches get plus 6 inches to charge range. So, which would be helpful if he gets close enough to people. But he doesn't have that for the moment, so he's going to take 2 shots at these guys hitting on 3s. So they get 1 hit, and it's AP 1, so they have to save on a 6. They don't save, so our model is just going to come off the board. In particular, that model, because that will stop him from being in range. Now he has shot and activated. And so I believe that the last model left... Oh, no. There are 2... yeah, everyone's got some models left. So I think that Chavel wants to score some points. This is a 2.8-inch drop. By this version of the rules, there is a new version of the rules, but I'm playing with the same version that I started with the campaign. With this version of the rules, I'm pretty sure that I don't have to roll for less than 3 inches. For a drop of less than 3 inches. Dropping. Models may drop off steep elevation up to 6 inches high instead of climbing down. Roll X+1 dice to score. Yeah, roll X+1 dice to try to score 3 plus, where X is 1 die for every full 3 inches it drops. It's not dropping a full 3 inches, it's dropping 2.8, which means that I don't roll any dice. Oh, do I roll 1 dice? Have I been doing this wrong this whole time? I think I've been doing this wrong. Oh, here we go. Models may drop off roll X+1. I've been doing this wrong this whole time. Which is nice to know, actually, because I thought the rule was a bit ridiculous. Okay. What's leaping? Models may leap off steep elevation up to 6 inches high onto enemies within 2 inches of the bottom. Oh, okay. Jumping. No, that's crossing gaps. Falling. If a model is pushed off an elevated position. Yeah. Okay. So they do actually have to roll, and they have to roll a 3+, and I've just been doing it wrong. 4. So that's not an issue. So that's 2 inches. 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 2 So for 3 inches of movement, they're going to get to here. So to get the full 12 inches that they can move, they're going to essentially get to here. Which means that they will be able to score an objective on the first turn. Now, the only Dwarven model left to move is Ortan. Oh, we can see that hat. Okay, he's just going to move 8 inches up. The reasoning for which that he basically can't shoot anyone. He's too far away. And that is all models act... Oh, no. No. Chavel. Chavel is just going to charge in 12 inches. He is quite keen to get into battle. So, that is the end of round 1. We need to look at scoring objectives. This objective 1 is not within 3 inches of anyone. Objective 2 will be captured by Chavel. Objective 3 is not within 3 inches of anyone who's conscious or not stunned. Objective 4 is within 3 inches of this wizard here, so Chavel is scoring that one. This objective, objective 5, is not within 3 inches of any units, so it is still unclaimed. And objective 6 has just been abandoned as well. Did I do the right thing there? Yeah, the Ortan Expedition didn't have any objectives to take. Actually, they had Seas 4, and they've had Seas 1 and Seas 4. Oh, 4 was this one. So they have not been able to do anything. So the Ortan Expedition will not capture that. They had Seas 1 and Seas 4. I'm going to discard Seas 1 because that's a little bit far away. I'm not going to make it. Now the Chavel's Troup have managed Seas 2, so they're going to score that for 1 victory point. And I think I'm going to discard hold 6. It's theoretically possible to get to, but I don't know that I'm going to get there by round 3. I might get there by round 4. Which means that Chavel is in the lead with 1 victory point. So now it's time for round 2. First thing to do for round 2 is roll some new objectives. The Ortan Expedition will be going first, as the Chavel was the last model to activate. So rolling 1 new objective, 64 for the Ortan Expedition. 64 is Executioner. Destroy 1 enemy model with the hero rule. Unfortunately, there's not 3 or more enemy models with the hero rule, but I can get 1 victory point out of that. So, 64. Executioner. And I need to get... oh. I've put that in the wrong... There. And now I need to draw 2 more for Chavel's troop. 45 and... This is what I was afraid of happening. So it was 45 and 11, which is C's 1. That is what I was afraid of happening. I've now got to turn around, turn the troops around in order to collect an objective that is actually going to be hard to get to. But 45 is area dominance. Control any 3 objective markers. Okay, and now we need to roll for random events. So Ortan gets a random event. Chavel does not. So the random event will be 43. Snapped neck. Oh, fuck. Whether by snap neck, whether by accident or on purpose, one of the warriors just hit the right spot. The first time during this round, when a unit rolls a 6 to hit in melee, the target is immediately... Oh, okay. Okay, that's pretty powerful event. Event, snapped neck. That's in the wrong... I put these in the wrong place. There we go. So, that's... Shit, that's unfortunate. So I was going to activate this unit. Let's get rid of all the dice. Because if she stands up, I get an extra 10 XP at the end of the game. However, I have a feeling that what I have to do is charge. No. I have to charge, but I can charge. So the difference, they've both got 1... Oh, no. Yeah, they've both only got 1 attack. I'm looking at Athelid, the elite, who's on the other side of the board, she gets 2 attacks. No. The Iron Warriors and the Veterans both have 1 melee attack each, both hitting on 3s. But if I can manage to roll a 6... I can knock out Chavel. Come on, lucky 6. That's a 4. It hits. I have a... Yeah, no, it would be an unmodified roll. Even though it doesn't say that. It should say an unmodified roll. So that hits, so he saves on like a 3 up, I think. Let me just make sure. No, he doesn't. He saves on a 4 up. That's a 3, so he will take 1 wound. So that's actually still pretty effective. So he's going to attack back, and he has 3 attacks. because he is a hero, and that's what they get. He hits on 3s as well, yeah. So he's got 2 hits that she has to defend with 3-up save. So still pretty good. So she makes both of those saves. Just double check that. No. This one. That she does, in fact, have a 3-up save. She does. And so she will retreat back an inch. That is an inch, apparently. Slightly more than an inch. Okay. Yeah, I've been measuring wrong because I've made the assumption at some point that a base was an inch, and it's not. But that's okay. We've got she has activated and fought. And he has not activated, but he has fought. It is now Chavel's turn. So the interesting thing is I could run him around her to attack Ortan. He gets 3 attacks, so there's not an insignificant chance of rolling a 6. He only hits on 6s at this point anyway. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Because knocking... This dwarf has a 2-up save. So he's going to charge around, because he has to stay outside of an inch of the enemy unit he's not charging, around the veteran to attack the Iron Warrior, only hitting on 6s. If he gets a 6, it's an instant knockout. He does not get any 6s. He does not get any hits. The Iron Warrior is going to strike back with his single attack, which hits on 2s. So it hits. It is AP 2. They've all got AP 2 attacks, which I had forgotten, but he took the wound anyway. So, whoop, not that one. This is a single roll. He has a 4-up save, so he needs a 6 to save because it's an AP 2. He doesn't save, so he will take a second wound and have to retreat back, which I'm going to move to the side here. Now, he has both activated and fought, and my Iron Warrior has also fought. Now that's 6's risk. These units here aren't in any trouble with it. The wizard can charge and get an automatic kill in combat. But there's also the risk of hitting on 6s in that combat. I'm going to have to activate you so that you are standing up. Which brings us back to Chavel. So this means that the wizard can't charge that. The wizard is actually rather squishy with a 6-up defense. Does have tough 3, So would only take 1 wound in a fight, but hits on 5s. So in actual combat, it's not worth much of a risk. Yeah, 1 attack, hits on 5s. A 6 would kill him. But really the wizard is all about casting spells, and it's better to keep him alive. So let's not activate the wizard just yet. Actually, we do know that... Okay, I'm going to activate the wizard. I'm not going to charge the veteran, because the veteran will hit me and will subtract wounds. But I will run up here, because that will put me within 12 inches of Ortan, the Dwarven hero. And it contests the point. Because I'm not sure where Ortan is going yet. Ortan is not... Ooh, can Ortan charge? Maybe Ortan can charge. Ortan, in any case, he's going to try and kill Ortan. He's going to try the same spell. Leech on a 5. So Wizard 2, so on a 3 up. He will take 1 hit with AP 4 and Deadly 3. So on a 3 up. 4. So that he takes 1 hit. He has a defensive 3. But it's AP 4, so he's Deadly 3, so he has to make 3 rolls on 6s, 3 saves on 6s. Okay, so one of those is a 5, and they have 3 underdog points, so they now have 2 underdog points. And Ortan will take 2 wounds instead of 3. Keeping him in the game without rolls. But the wizard now has activated. So I think that the next thing to do is for our Dwarven elite to charge in here. I'm not measuring that because it's pretty much within 8. She gets 2 attacks, hitting on 3s. That's 2 hits, so she is the Dwarven elite, hits on 3s, 2 attacks, AP 3. She has Resilient, which is +1 to rolls when blocking hits. So both of those hit. They have to make the saves on 5s. Oh, hold on. She's charging bloody spearmen. So they're not going to succeed either of those saves. But flanks is the rule I forgot to apply here. Enemies charging this unit don't count as having charged for the purpose of special rules, and they must take a dangerous terrain test before attacking. Roll only up to as many models there are flanks. So, dangerous terrain... Models moving across dangerous terrain or that activate in it must roll 1 die, or as many as their tough value, and for each roll of 1, they take 1 wound. So, first of all, she has to make 1 roll. That's not a 1, so she doesn't take any wounds. So the next thing is that this spearman comes off. And this spearman takes a wound. On a 6, he's out. On anything else. So that's a 6. 5 plus 1, because he's got 1 wound. So she has taken out this troop and is going to move 3 inches. I'm going to say 2 inches because of the fence. That's what I've been doing. So she's just going to get to the other side. Going at those guys. Nobody's rolled any 6s in melee combat yet. It is now... What are the objectives? Seize 3, Seize 1, and area dominance. So they've got 2 objectives. They could run back to try and seize... Okay. So they can actually get back up there to seize that objective. If they seize that objective, they will have 2 different objectives that they can achieve this game, which they're not going to otherwise. The other possibility is that's 3 attacks against 1 model. So they could knock Athelwood out entirely. At which point they'd be able to run back the next turn, but it means that this turn they're unlikely to score any more points. I think that it's probably safer to play the game and run back. So only 1 unit is going to make it up the... Oh, hang on. I think we can say that that's coherence. I don't think we can say that that's coherence. Yeah, I don't like the fact that they're technically within 2 inches of each other, unless you want to measure base to base. But because this lip is here, I'm loath to do it. I know I would do it in other situations, but because the lip is there, I don't want to do it. If I place a model here, I'm a lot more okay with that. It's 2.8 because that's more being in control of the point, which you can do from outside. So I will allow that. I will do that. I'm going to have these guys run back to here so that they can score that point. Yeah, I think that's fair because it's about controlling the objective. If the fort is the objective, being just outside the fort to control it. If there is no one inside the fort, fortification. It's not really a fort. It's not big enough to be a fort, or is it? How are forts defined? Good question. In any case, there's no one in it. Being outside of it, they're in control. So that makes sense. You have activated and fort as well. I need to mark these because I've got a couple of units that haven't activated. Yeah, so... All right. So the Dwarven hero Ortan has this special rule, Vanguard. Friendly units within 3 inches get 6+ charge range. I feel like that includes himself. I mean, he's still slow if he's not charging, but if he is charging, he has a whole 18 inches to charge, which is pretty strong for him. He's got 3 attacks at AP2. I'm going to allow it. I'm not looking the rule up. We'll look it up later and deal with it then. But that means he's going to charge the wizard. He has 3 attacks, hitting on 3s, AP2. So that's 2 hits. Yep, that's a 1, so I can't get that up to a 3. So the wizard has... doesn't matter that they're AP2 because the wizard has a defense of 6. So rolling, he rolls 2 failures and will take 2 wounds. And Ortan will... move to be... He needs to be an inch away, doesn't he? So if I move directly to the side, he's not going to be... Okay, there we go. So Ortan has both activated and shot. Next up is... Last up for the for Chavel, is it? Is that right? Oh, it's last up for Chavel because Chavel lost a unit. Which means that he'll have first turn next turn. But last up for Chavel is the crossbowmen. And they are going to all shoot at that Iron Warrior. Hitting on 5s, AP4 on 6s. No 6s. 1 hit though. So he has to shrug off. He has to not roll a 1. He manages to roll a 2, which is his defense. Because he's an Iron Warrior, I think they have a defensive 2+. Or was it something else I got? No, it was just the Iron Warrior. He's got the 2 up to hit on a melee because Sergeant. Yeah, so he is fine. And they have activated and shot. Now, he hasn't activated. He has 1 chance to knock out a unit. So he's just going to charge back into this combat and take a swing. He only hits on 6s because he has fought. However, if he rolls a 6 because of the event that's going, it's an automatic knockout. It's a 1. Chavel will attack back. He does get 3 attacks. No 6s. Which actually makes me think, why did he charge? He could have shot. Chavel's got... I had actually thought that through earlier in the game when I went across to the other side of the board. Chavel wouldn't have gotten those 3 attacks and I wouldn't have been risking Chavel knocking out the Iron Warrior. So that was kind of stupid. But that's okay. That it is what it is. So that is everyone. Everyone has now gone, I think. Yeah, everyone has been activated. So that's the end of round 2, and we need to look at scoring some objectives. I did decide that this objective will get scored. This objective is contested because there are two teams within... there are two teams with units within 3 inches of it. So the Dwarves still haven't gotten any objectives. However, Chavel's troop have got 3. So, scoring, Chavel's troop... Oh, so the Ortan Expedition scored recovery. Which means that Chavel's troop failed. So that's something for them. They can score 3. No, they can score Cs 1. They can't score Cs 3. Or they can score area dominance. Control any 3 objective markers worth 2 victory points. That is the one to score because it is worth 2 victory points, bringing them up to 3 victory points. Lucius did manage to cast Leech. It just wasn't super effective. I'm keeping track of this in case an objective card comes up, which it could use. The Ortan Expedition, we did have Athelid. Oh no, Althilid knocked out the Spearmen on round 2. They did not seize 4. They did not take no prisoners, and they have not scored executioner. They will discard take no prisoners, because that's not going to get scored. Chavel's troop are going to... Chavel's troop are going to take a gamble and discard Cs 3. And that's the end of round 2. I just need to check if Snap Neck... during this round, so it's now over, and any 6s rolled will not automatically knock out a unit. So it is definitely time to move to round 3. Okay, so beginning of round 3, Chavel will go first, and so we're going to draw some more cards for Chavel. 53. Did Chavel... hang on. I need to cross this one. And so Chavel's got 53 and 50... So 54. 53 and 54. So 53 is cut them down. Destroy 1 enemy unit, destroy 3 or more enemy units, destroy 6 or more enemy units. So I could get 2 victory points from it. 54, however, is outflank. No enemy units within 6 inches of the center of the battlefield. No enemy units within 12 inches of the center of the battle. Oh, both of those are potentially achievable. The Ortan Expedition only draws 1 card. 65. What is 65? 65 is Big Game Hunter. So let's re-roll. 43 is not out yet. 43 is hold the line. Have at least 3 units within your deployment zone, whilst no enemy units are within your deployment zone. This card can't be scored at the end of round 1. Some of these are hard to... 63, was it? Hold the line. I wonder if it would be good if the game would work better if you had different sets of missions for Age of Fantasy and Age of Fantasy Skirmish, because these are the Age of Fantasy mission cards, and I've got 5 units. So that some of these are really hard with only 5 units. But that's okay. I guess maybe with the Age of Fantasy, depending on how you're playing, you might only have 5 units anyway. They just have more troops in them. So we need to roll for Chavel to random event. Chavel gets a random event. Both Chavel and Ortan get random events. So Chavel's random event is 33, and Ortan's is 23. What am I doing? 33 and 23. 33 is Bounty Hunter. A bounty hunter has arrived to kill a dangerous outlaw among the warriors. Place a bounty hunter on the highest piece of terrain with the most line of sight on the table. Select one random unit, and at the end of each round, if it is in line of sight of the bounty hunter, it takes 1 hit. Okay, I need a bounty hunter model. Who would be a good bounty hunter model? Let's go human. I mean, I know that we've got the humans in, but we don't have any archers. So, human archer. Highest piece of terrain with the best line of sight is here. We'll put it in the center. Does it make sense to put him in the center? With the most line of sight on the table. So here. This corner. If he's within 12 inches... No, if he's within line of sight. Okay, so we need to... one random unit. Is this out of all units, or is this out of my units? So Chavel's unit. What's the other one first? 23. Booby trap. Select one random player. Yeah, I think that we'll just do Chavel's units, because then you've got to select. I think that's what I've done in the past. And, you know, then you got to select player, but then, yeah. So Chavel's got this unit. Chavel's got this unit. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1d4. 3. The wizard. So at the end of the round, if the wizard is within line of sight of the bounty hunter, it will take 1 wound. Now, booby trap. Select one random player who may note down 1 piece of terrain in secret. The first one to enter that terrain takes D3 automatic hits with AP2. So, I'm playing by myself. Now, I'm perfectly happy to actually do this with it being in secret, and yeah, I'm playing with myself for my own enjoyment. Sorry if you don't believe me when I do or do not move into the room. But okay, Chavel or Ortan. So Ortan Random piece of booby-trapped terrain. Oh, it's a bit late for this, isn't it? It's just any piece of terrain? The problem, it sort of assumes that you've got like terrain with bases. That's how it kind of reads. I also love that I can have terrain. Okay, I've got a point. I have a point to go with. And what I'll do is I'll say just within 3 inches of that, within 3 inches of that point, moves through that point. I have a point where that I can bait them to move through. I shouldn't. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I don't know. Yeah, fuck it. They just didn't set it off. It's one of those things, right? If because we're at round 3, units have already moved around everywhere. But that's okay. We're just going to deal with it and start the round. So Chavel's troop go first. Let me first record the new events. Ortan event on round through. What was it? Booby trap? And event wizard. In fact, I'll say I was thinking about here. I was thinking about this point here. I'll put a D20 on it even. Anyone who moves through there, and I'm thinking specifically about those 3. Because everyone else is in fights here. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. All right, so the wizard will be the first to activate. Let's clear that. The wizard will be the first to activate, and that's basically so he can run the fuck away, because he's not going to be in a good way in a minute. Now, the way wizard works, I do believe, may cast one spell during its activation at any point before attacking. So, in an attempt to keep him alive, what we're going to do is we're just going to cast a spell before moving. Where are your spells? Spells. So, okay. Blood Hex. Target unit within 6 takes 1 automatic hit per model. Oh, that would be really good for a unit with a large number of models. But against the Dwarves, where one unit only has 1 model, it's not that great. It's actually better to hit them with... this is again the bit where I go, what's an automatic hit versus what's 1 hit? Because if you say, yeah, takes 1 hit, that sounds automatic to me. So Leech is again possibly the thing to do. Leech is AP 4, Deadly 3, which means that their 3-up saves become 6-up saves. Alternatively, I could go Fireball for 2 automatic hits, AP 2. So you're only got 3 potential wounds. Yeah. Yeah, I think that that's the go. I think that the go is Fireball. So on a 2 up on the die, Ortan, the hero, will take 2 automatic hits, AP2. He'll be able to save them, potentially, but the spell will most likely go off. Goes off. Could have rolled the other one. So he can save on a 5 up. Ooh. Okay, so on a 5 up, he's going to use one of his whatchamacallit points, underdog points. That is the underdog over there, so that he makes one of those saves. He will take a wound. And he rolls his wound check, and does not meet the threshold, so he is stunned. And our wizard here is going to run. Oh, hang on. With the way this works, he can't get in there. Oh no. Oh, he's not going to be able to get away. He's going to run in here. He is not in line of sight. However, there are several units that are potentially able to fight him and kill him. Let me mark him as... What are you doing? What are you doing? There we go. Let's mark him as having activated. Ortan's turn, activating Ortan. Why? So that he is not stunned. Because if he does get into a fight, which isn't particularly likely, to be honest, you don't want him to just go down. Yeah, there's not really any units over here for the fighting to happen with, but that is okay. The next thing is for Chavel to try and take down this Iron Warrior again. So Chavel doesn't have... it's the engineer. Where's Chavel? Where are you? He's just got hero and tough. 3 attacks, hitting on 3s, AP 2. So he's got 2 hits, and it's AP 2. So instead of the 2-up save, it's a 4-up save. Ooh, 5 and 3. One of those wounds looks like it's going through. I forgot the marksman had elite for their last shot, but that's too late now. Yeah, the Iron Warrior is headstrong and a sergeant. So he's going to take 1 wound, which means he is rolling a wound check straight away. He's off. He's being knocked off the board. Well, that was quick. The guy with the 2-up save gets knocked off the board with a save of a 3. Yeah, This is what happens when you've only got one wound. Chavel, pretty sure you can't run into another attack with... Yeah, I can move up to 3 inches. So I'm just not going to bother to move. Oh. No. Yes, I am. Ooh, not quite close enough. But he has fought. And he has activated. Okay, next activation is a Dwarven activation. I think that our dwarf is going to run up and try and stab Chavel. She only gets the 1 attack, but she does hit on 3s. That is a 6. That would have been lovely to have last round. So she's just got 1 attack hit, AP 2. His defense is 4 up. So on a 6, he can save. Really? Seriously? Fucking 6? Alright. He's still up. He's attacking back, only hitting on 6s. He gets 1 attack. She saves on 3s. Jesus Christ. I don't want to take that. I'm not taking that. I don't even care. I'm done. I am out of underdog points. I don't want to lose another unit. Just wow. That's yeah, so she doesn't take the wound because she makes her save because she rolled a 5 and... Hang on. What's this 2 that I rolled? No, she rolled a 2. She saves on 3s. That's, yeah, of course. That's what I mean. So, underdog gone. She has attacked and she has moved. Where'd my mouse go? She's attacked. She has activated. It is a human turn. There's not really much going on up here. And they don't... Yeah, I do want to resolve what's happening here. So... I'm not going to be able to... I think... I am. I'm going to shoot both of these guys. No. Hang on. I can move. I am able to move. So they're going to move 6 across. And fire at both of these 2. I think that works. Shooting. Models in range and line of sight may fire all weapons, or split their attacks evenly among all enemy units within 3 inches of a single model. Target picks how. Shooting modules take 1 quality test per attack, and each success is a hit. For each hit, defending models roll 1 die, trying to score their defense value or higher, and each fail causes 1 wound. Okay, so they're attacking both of these, and I, as Ortan's Expedition, get to choose how those 3 attacks are distributed. So they both have essentially... So, okay, here is the question. He's got essentially 1 wound. He's got a toughness of 3, so every time he takes a wound, he will have to roll. They only hit on 5s, so I'm not hugely worried about them hitting. But if they hit her at all, she probably will go down and will essentially... I'll lose the activation. Which would be bad because means that I won't be able to attack this wizard this turn, which is my next action. My next action as Ortan will be to try and kill this wizard, because she's got a pretty good chance of doing it. It's 5s to hit. She does have a 3-up save, but if they roll 6s, she has to roll 6s to save. They both have to roll 6s to save. I think I will take 1 attack against her and 2 attacks against him. It'll be annoying. Yeah. Or if I put all 3 against her... Yeah, we'll go 2 attacks against him and 1 attack against her. So the 2 attacks first. That's 1 hit. Rolling defense. He makes it because it's a 4-up. Oh, they've got... Spearman. Yeah, it's a AP 1, so... no, attack 1 with rending. There's no AP. So he makes the save. And now they 1 attack against her. There's that 6. So she saves on a 6. Okay. Rending. Rending is just AP4, so that goes through. She now has 4 wounds. So she will not be able to attack anyone this turn. 4 plus 4 is 8, which is above 6, so she is knocked out. I knew I made the wrong decision. Cool. Well, they have activated, and... they have shot. Everyone over here has now activated, leaving the only model I've got to activate. Oh, the die went away. So if they move... Did I say something about 3 inches? 3 inches is massive. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. But, you know, I said it, so... we're just going to move her to here. She will be taking this objective. And she is activated. And all of the Dwarven units have activated now. So, these are the only guys left. So the question is, do they try to contest this? They're going to be able to... What are their objectives? Playing an objective game. They will be able to get that, cut them down. They might... Ooh. So cut them down and outflank are the two that I would be looking at potentially scoring. The halfway point on the board is this line here. Okay, the halfway point is there. I would not be able to score... So the one is... Oh, she's not out the inside anyway. The thing would be cut them down. That she could potentially... Or they could score it for 1 victory point. But cut them down if they kill her as well. But they're not likely to. Where is it? Cut them down. Yeah, if they get her, that's 2 victory points. 3 attacks. Well, they only need 1 to go through. They're going to do it. So they're going to make this charge. They have more than enough movement to do it. They will set off the trap. Booby trap. The first unit to enter that terrain takes D3 automatic hits with AP2. 2 automatic things with AP2. They do get to roll saves. So they only save on 6s. They lose 1 model to the booby traps. They will then attack her, hitting on 5s. Miss. She will attack them back, hitting on 3s. 1 hit goes through. They have a 5-up save. No, they have a 6-up save because she has AP. She has like an AP1 weapon or an AP2 weapon. She has an AP2 weapon. 4, which they didn't make anyway. So they will lose a 2nd model. I'm not going to... I should do the retreat. Because now she's going to come up. So positioning might be important. It's very unlikely, but it might become important. 2 attacks, hitting on 6s because she has already fought. 1 6. They have to save on a 6. Doesn't save. Making the model, the wound roll, it out. So she kills another unit and is able to consolidate 3 inches. And she's still within 3 inches of this objective. Do I even have a Seize 1 objective? No, my objective is Seize 4. Executioner and hold the line. Okay, so that's the end of the round. Everyone has activated. And the bounty hunter does not have line of sight to the wizard. So, scoring objectives. 1 does not change hand. 2 does change hands. Brown, I think we were doing for the dwarves. 3 does change hands. 4 does not change hands. 5 does not change hands. And 6... I'm pretty sure I measured this out, and I don't think he's quite... Oh, hang on. I don't think he's quite there. I'll give it to him. That says 3 inches exactly. Yeah, I guess he seizes 6. Okay. So with that objective scoring, sees 1. He can do that. He can do cut them down for 1 victory point, or he can do outflank for 1 victory point, because we measured the center. So 6 inches, no one's in 6 inches of it, but someone is in 12 inches of it. And he's cut down 2 units, not 3. So we will score C's 1 for 1 victory point. I mean, I think it's pretty clear at this point that who's won the game, but it's not quite over yet. Ortan, is he going to... Both of those are he's very close to being able to score for 2 victory points. The more victory points, the better for the overall campaign. So we're not going to discard anything. Ortan, on the other hand, will discard hold the line. That's just never going to happen. Executioner cannot score. Sees 4 cannot score. Ortan's just not scoring anything. Now, who has knocked out units? You, Athelwid, I think your name was. You knocked out a unit. Alflid knocked out a unit in round 3. Knocked out infantry. And the infantry are the only unit that got knocked out this turn. Ortan Chavel, however... Shit, who knocked out... Chavel knocked out the Iron Warrior, right? Yeah, Chavel knocked out the Iron Warrior, and the... knocked out Roshek. And Marksman knocked out Ethelwid? Yeah. I'm pretty sure. Just make sure that this is not Ethelwid. No, it's Hildred. Hildred is a sayable name. Ethelwid, a bit better, but what was it? Athelid or something? Althelid? It's a bit hard to say. But that is essentially the end of round 4. No, end of round 3. We're moving on to round 4, which is exciting because this game is going to be the first game, I think, in the campaign that actually has a round 4, a game 4. Every other game has had round 4 technically, but they've all been very short because there's only been 1 unit left on one of the sides, if that. Cool. So, finishing round 3 and on to round 4. I made a mistake. I made a mistake. Alphalid did not knock out the infantrymen. I've put them back to where they were because Alphalid had to move here. That was her activation. They came in and attacked her, lost one of their men, or lost 2 because they lost 1 to the trap. But he still is there with no wounds. He is still up. The other thing I need to calculate... Yeah, no, that's fine. That's... I was just thinking about route checks, but no one is routing. So now round 3, Alfred is still there. The Spearman is there. This did not change hands, but it doesn't matter. So Chavel's troop is definitely winning, but the Dwarves are putting up a fair fight. And if this was to go on, I mean, we've only got 1 round left, but I do think that the Dwarves would fare better. In any case, I do believe that both need 1 new objective. So, Ortan will be going first, which is, as I was thinking about that was why I realized I'd made a mistake. 51? 51 is volley fire. Destroy 1 enemy unit with a ranged attack. That is achievable. And Chavel, 52. Charge. Destroy. Okay. Destroy 1 in melee. Destroy units in melee. Destroy units with ranged attacks. Cool. Random event for Ortan. No. Random event for Chavel. No. Let's clear these dice. And start round bloody 3. So, this fucking wizard is going to die. 3 attacks, hitting on 3s, 2 hits, he saves on 6s, takes 2 wounds, bringing him to 4 wounds, knocked out. No, he is just knocked down. He is stunned. So Ortan will retreat 1 inch. I'll just do that. Okay. So he has activated. And he has attacked. Now, the first thing I'm doing as Chavel is measuring. I'm activating the wizard. Because I don't want the wizard to die. If the wizard dies, then Ortan. Look. Yeah. I'm just going to activate the wizard. Because if Ortan kills the wizard dies, then Ortan gets points. So next activation is a dwarf. I think we are going to see this charge happening. Because it's a lot more likely that she's going to knock him down than it is that she's going to get Chavel. No, actually, she has a pretty good chance with Chavel. She just has to do 1 wound. She's only got 1 attack. She hits on 3s. We're giving it a go. Hits on 3s, and she's got AP 2, so he might not be able to save, because he has to save on a 6 anyway. But she misses. And I'm out of underdog points. So he's going to attack her back 3 times, hitting on 3s. Only 1 hit, though. She saves on a 3. So she's going to retreat back an inch or thereabouts. I'm going to turn this model around. And so she has activated. And they have both fought. And because they've both fought, he's going to jump in and attack again, only hitting on 6s. Misses. She attacks back, hitting on 6s, misses. He's going to jump back. And he has activated now. So they've both activated. Nice and cleanly. Everyone here is activated. Okay, this round was actually going to be pretty short as well, I guess. These three are all going to attack Ortan. They will move so as to not. So by moving, they don't get a cover penalty. And then they will attack 3 times, hitting on 5s. 1 hit, he saves on a 3. He doesn't save. So he will at least be knocked down. He needs to roll wounds. I think that's it. I think he's knocked out. Yeah, because if it's 5 plus 3, he's got 4. He is knocked out. They have attacked. They have activated. Now, that's everyone on this side of the board. That activated. Ortan activated. Everyone has survived. She's going to jump in here and try and kill this guy. Where is my mouse? She takes 2 attacks, hitting on 3s, so 1 hits, and he has to save on a 6. He doesn't. Hang on, he gets a wound roll. He is stunned. And she's going to, for the hell of it, push back. She manages to push him back 2 inches to here. And that is the game. That is the game in its entirety. The bounty hunter is there, but he doesn't have line of sight of the wizard. Everyone has activated. That's it. That's all she wrote. Let's look at scoring. So, Chavel gets to score. Cut them down for 2. Charge for whatever charge goes for. Charge for 1. Or we're just going to score cut them down. 3 or more enemy units because it's worth 2 points. Outflank, if I measure that up, I can probably score that too. I most definitely can score it too, but it's worth the same amount. And let's be honest, they won. So they get an extra 2. So they're going to get a total of 8 victory points. The Ortan Expedition did not seize 4. They did not kill any hero units. They didn't kill anyone with volley fire. So they've got absolutely 0 victory points. That's a little bit sad. However, for the purposes of XP, who got knocked out? The only unit to be knocked out this round was Ortan. The marksman knocked him out. Ortan on round 4. And Althalid did not knock out the unit. I'm thinking about him being done because... But actually, no. No. Route checks, there's no point in making them. At this stage, the Dwarves would have to make the route checks, but because the game is over, it doesn't make a difference. Yeah, so Ortan will be winning the game. And it's now time to look at casualties. So, Chavel is up first for that. Chavel survived. Lucius Cartus survived. The Spearman. What happens to the Spearman? What are you doing? 1. The Spearmen die. The Infantrymen, because there was one... so they would be routed. No, they wouldn't, because they're not rolling route checks. They survived, and the Marksmen survived. So they will all gain at least 1 experience. Eldrick Ortan. Let's move over here. Why are we all... What's happening with the focus? Have I done something silly like that? Yes, I have. There we go. Okay. Ortan. What happens to you, buddy? 6. 6 is... Natural Talent. Unit recovers and earns 1 experience. So he's going to gain 2 experience. Hildred. Which one is Hildred? Not this one. So Hildred survives. She's the one that's still on the board. Ethelwyd is this one here. Ethelwyd survived. Okay, so Ethelwyd, 5, so she recovers, and I think that's supposed to be a 5. I'm going to count that as cocked and re-roll it. 6, so you also get 2. So Natural Talent. So everyone will get 1 XP at least, except for him, who will get 2. So, Houston Chavel. Chavel knocked out Roshek. So, Chavel will get 2 XP. Lucius Cartus did not knock anyone out. He did a good job with his spells. Well, he wasn't bloody stunned, but he did do quite a number on a few different units. But he only gets 1 XP. The Spearmen are dead. The Infantrymen didn't do anything. They took some objectives, but that was it. The Marksmen, however, knocked out Ethelwyd for 1 and Ortan for 2. So they get 4 XP. They will probably level up. not wanting to spoil anything. Now, Ortan, he gains 2. He did not knock it. In fact, Athelid was the only one who knocked anyone out, so she gains an extra XP, and that was it. So, XP was easy. So, leveling up, let's do the Dwarves first. The Engineer, Ortan, gets 2 for 9. Hildred, the Veteran, gets 1 for 4. Ethelwyd, the Veteran, gets 1 for 7. Athelid gets 2 for 8. And Roshek gets 2 for 8. So no one is leveling up. Mission... What am I doing? I'm coming down here to look at Chavel. He gains 2 XP for 6. He will level up. The Wizard gains 1 for 4. The Spearmen are dead. The Infantrymen will gain 1 for 5, so they will level up. And the Marksmen will get 4. How do they get 4? Yeah, they got 4. Jesus. For 9. They will not level up. Okay, so Ortan is leveling up. So, leveling up. The first thing he needs to do is roll 1d6. 6. He gets to choose between Pathfinder or Healer. I think that Pathfinder is the one for him. 4. On a 4, he gets Prowler. So he now gets enemy units further than 12 inches away get -1 to shooting rolls against the hero. So that's actually pretty good. Also leveling up was the Infantrymen. So they just get to roll 1 die. And on a 6... I think that they get to choose. What am I doing? Where are we? Fast Learner may pick any other trait from this list. So they're going to pick Elite, because I think that that's the thing to do. Fast Learner, Elite. So that means that the Champion Ortan is now worth 60 points. And this squad of Infantrymen is now worth 30 points. He has Prowler... And the Infantrymen have Elite. I'm going to put FL. Because I think it means that they can get Elite twice, and obviously they stack. Otherwise, Fast Learner is a bit silly, because you can only level up 6 times. So, all right. That brings us to the end here. We will see a few changes happening to the list. The Spearmen are dead, so they will come out of this list. And Chavel now has less points. Everyone else on Ortan's list recovered or got bloody natural talent. So that's pretty good for them. Chavel's Troup won game 4. Game 4. Win. For 10 points. And 8 victory points. How ridiculous is that? Ortan, however... The Ortan Expedition, Game 4, loss. So the Ortan Expedition has only lost to Chavel's Troup, and they have lost 2 games to Chavel's Troup. They will gain 30 points, but 0 victory points. But also, Game 4, objective win for 10 points. So they have they've got 60 points left to spend before they go into the last game. Chavel's Troup, however, they only have 15 points to spend before going into the last game, and a list of 85, worth 85 points, which means that when we look at the leaderboard, just let's bring all of the numbers up to date. Ortan, Chavel, they've now both played 4 games. Chavel's got 26 victory points in total, but the final score is still 6.5. Really? That's it? 6.5. However, the Ortan Expedition are now in last place with 3.25 points, followed by the Litwin Scouts with 3.5. 3.5 in third place. Second place is Clara's Horde with 4.25 points, and Chavel's Troup are well and truly in the lead with 6.5 points. The Ortan Expedition currently has 180 points left in their troop. However, they've got 60 points to spend, so we'll see how that works. Chavel's Troup have 185 points left now that they've lost some units, but they've got 15 points to spend. The limitation that the Ortan Expedition is going to have is that they cannot field more than 50 points more than the Litwin Scouts in the final game. The final game, there's one game left. All 4 units on the same board in the same mission. So that will be probably a bit longer and all kinds of hectic. So look forward to that. And thanks very much for joining me. We're almost at the end of this campaign, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.